Does anyone have a question?
I have a question.
Yes, you have a
How
question?
do you how do you determine what to give your energy to? If you have an excess amount of energy, how do you know what a good route is?
I mean, look, the how do you know questions are very difficult. You know why? Because you don't know. You build a system inside yourself that is strong enough that it guides you every day of your life. And the choices you made are not choices that you just come up with in your head. They just they will kind of manifest in your life and make it possible for you to choose things that are rich and full of life and energy. So it's not how do you know? You don't know. And you're going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. But mistakes, as I've said a million times, they're just opportunities to learn something and to grow. So to live at this crossroad thinking, shall I, shan't I, you spend the rest of your life not doing anything. And how do I know? I mean, whatever choices I make, they help me to grow in my life. That's how I know. But I don't plot these things out because I learned early on that it never works. No matter what plans I make, they always go awry. So I open and allow, I can give you an example of this. I decided about 6 months ago that I need to somehow get back in the art business because I need to make a little money. And I see thousands of objects. And how do I know? Suddenly something just rings true and you connect with it and then it all works out somehow. But it used to be it was always Tibetan and Indian and Chinese and Asian. Now it's the whole world. Much better. I'm open to whatever God sends to me that I can get and then maybe sell, make a little money off of it, and to be able to live my life. But I don't think about what, and I never know what's going to. I mean, I bought a Buddha today that is just gorgeous, extraordinary quality in the most unlikely place in the world. And I mean this. So how do I know? It came open and life manifests. And yes, you make mistakes. I made mistakes. And all right, you learn. You don't get crazy and not afraid to make a choice because you have to be perfect. That's the way to destroy your life, having to be perfect. So there's really no answer to your question, Rachel. The only answer is you develop a system inside that gives you the confidence in your life to be able to make choices. And then if you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. What did I learn? What did I learn? from having done this.
Stuart, I have a question, Bob Sink.
Yes, Bob.
In the context that you've been discussing, how do you establish that something is a mistake?
Well, I don't establish that, Bob. There are no mistakes. They're just opportunities to learn. You know, you do something that somehow becomes a negative energy, and you lose some money, you do this, all right, what did I learn from this? It's just a cheap investment in developing yourself as a human being, whatever it is that you do. And there's going to be negative responses. There's going to be, you know, things that you don't do that are going to bring negative. As I say, in business, it's you make a choice and then you lose money. All right, so it's an investment. You learn something important about yourself and about how to make choices, what kinds of choices. So you're not really losing money. You're investing in what not to do. And it's a very cheap investment. The worst part is having to be perfect, not being able to make a choice because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake. I think that is, to me, the worst thing possible. So I don't, I've told the story 1,000 times. When I first opened my business in New York, my gallery, I bought this Lohan, this gilded statue, Chinese, couple of $100. And, it turned out to be fake. And I remember just keeping it on my desk. And every morning I would look at it and say, Stuart, next time you buy something, really examine it, find out what you're doing. That $200 investment, which turned out to be a fake, ultimately it was stolen from my gallery. I mean that. It saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not kidding you. I could have gotten crazy and beat myself up and said, oh, you're a schmuck, you're that, but that. I said, no. It literally saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars, that statue. So it was a very positive investment. If you use it consciously, and there's so many opportunities to use things that we somehow do wrong consciously just to learn about ourselves. And then there are no mistakes. There's the guts to step into the unknown and take a chance. I hope that's clear.
Thank you, Stuart. That was very clear.
It took me making a lot of mistakes to learn how to live my life. I mean it. I used to make them in Denton, Texas all the time, Bob, I mean it, I used to make them in New York. And, life is one mistake, but my life was a compendium of mistakes that created the Stuart who can live consciously today. And when I discovered they weren't mistakes, they were just opportunities to learn. How do you use them? We make mistakes in relationships and we get all upset and angry and, fight with people and, instead of saying, okay, I made a mistake. I probably will get involved in another relationship and I will choose and live more consciously instead of just jumping into something that turns out to be a nightmare. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And the way you tell something is working for you, it gets you closer to your spiritual enlightenment. You grow because of what you did. Even the negative things, you grow because of them. And you change inside. Does anyone else have a question they would like to?
I actually have another question, Stuart.
Yes.
Uh, you just spoke about getting closer to your spiritual enlightenment. How do you how do you know what that is?
You
Or
don't.
that
These how do you know questions are very easy to answer. You don't. You grow every day. You expand your chakra system. You develop more consciousness every day. You learn what life has to teach you. But how do you know God? You don't. You surrender every day. You let go of the things that are inhibiting you, that are keeping you from growing. Your range of experience expands inside. Your consciousness expands. I don't think you can know any more than that. And ultimately, you want enlightenment is really attaining a state of nothingness inside yourself. You keep letting go and letting go of all the ego, the opinions, the charisma, self-importance. You defer to other people, you listen to them, you let life be a teacher. That's how you know. There's humility, there's gratitude. And it's not just words, it really is a way of living. And you don't walk around believing you're more important than everybody else. You're not. And I mean, what I started today with that talk about those 5 people, understand it ultimately everything passes, everyone passes, and everyone is here for a purpose, and that's to learn how to use life to grow, to get to God. And if you don't learn it in this lifetime, you come back and try it again.
So Stuart, if if you were giving a prognosis, a certain time frame to live, is there anything that you would do differently in your life?
No. Turned out all right, my life. Why would I do anything different? Yeah, I was a really confused young man. I was an angry young man. I was kind of an artsy young man. I went into deep depressions over long periods of time. Yeah, I had a very difficult time when I was younger. But it's like out of the ashes, the phoenix bird, you know, manifests. And out of those ashes, a whole different Stuart emerged. But I needed to go through that, you know, in order to never have judgment. It enables me to accept people that I could not have accepted when I was younger, just because of what I went through in my life. So no, I wouldn't want to do it any differently. I really wouldn't. Because what I did and working with what I did, growing because of what I was, I created what I do today.
No, I mean in the present, not so much the past.
No, I think life is pretty fantastic. I don't have the kind of tense life I used to have years ago, but also I'm not a kid anymore, you know? I don't need that. I've been through it. But what I have is, I mean, look, I no, no. All I want to do every day is grow. That's it. Continue to serve God and do that till the day I leave the world. And I've been given a way to do it, and I will do it. Whether there's one person, 1,000 people, you understand? I will do this. But I'm not going to start thinking, oh, you should do this, you should, yeah. Maybe I could use a little bit more money now, but then if I do certain kind of work, it'll come. I think life is pretty wonderful. It's simpler than it used to be. But it's pretty wonderful. And I've never known my heart to be this open in all my life. Having love and compassion and being a happy person, being able to laugh at things and enjoy myself.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question? Okay, there are no more questions. There will be meditation on Sunday. God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I told you, you all have become my teacher, my guru. Your presence in my life really demands that I grow, and I'm so grateful for it. Couldn't ask for a better way to spend time. So God bless you all. Thank you. And looking forward to seeing everybody on Sunday.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.